Hey guys, welcome. So we're going to be talking about Virtual Lab 9 today, which is the best one. The idea here is to get you drawing some more Lewis structures and to show you what the three-dimensional structures look like. So that's the idea. I'm going to show you briefly what this looks like and how you should walk through this or what I think you should be doing. And then I will turn you loose to do the rest of these. So I'm going to share my screen so that we can take a look at this together. I'm in here in a preview of the lab. When you come into this, you'll see that there's a molecular model kit thing here. And it'll say the following colors are used to represent atoms. So they tell you what these are here, but they don't tell you inside the lab itself. So I had to make a copy of this, actually make a screenshot that kept with me while I was working on it. And I came in and I said, okay, now it asks you calculate the number of valence electrons in methylene chloride, CH2Cl2. So I have a carbon that has 4 valence electrons. Hydrogen has 1, and each chlorine has 7, 2 in the S and 5 in the P, so a total of 7 in the outside world. That gives me a total of 20 electrons that I need to put on that particular molecule. So that's what I need to put there, because that's 20. You'll see that I then drew a structure where I have carbon in the middle, hydrogen, hydrogen, chlorine, chlorine. Once I've made all 4 of those bonds, that takes away 8 of my electrons, and leaves me with 12. That hydrogen can only have 2 electrons, so he's happy. The rest of those electrons are going to go around the chlorines, and since I have 12 of them, I'll put 6 and 6, and that's the structure that I'm looking at. Now, when I look in here, I don't see exactly that structure, but I see something close. And it's this one right here, where carbon is in the center. And that's the one that I chose as the structure. Now, I come in here and it says, select the central atom for what I just did. And my central atom is carbon, so I need a black for that. I need 2 chlorines, which are the green, and 2 hydrogens, which are the white. And then it asks you to get single bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. It asks you to put the central atom on the stand, so I put my carbon on there. I add my 4 bonds. I actually literally just pick this up and click on the carbon and it puts it somewhere, because you really can't see where those holes are that those things go into, but that's how they're arranged. We then need to add the terminal atoms to the other ends of the bonds. I've got that one, that one, that one, and that one. Yeah. And it's happy with that. Now, the number of bonding groups around the central atom, I see 4. So I see 4 bonding groups, no non-bonding groups. So we can talk about that. 4 bonding groups. I click in here, I click 4. Lone pairs, I click 0. And then I say, okay, now I want you to click the completed structure, rotate it. So I click this, and this takes me into a 3-dimensional modeling set where I can look at what this molecule looks like. And you can see that we have the same bond angles for all of these. One of the other things that you'll notice is if I set this just like this, this is similar to what we draw on paper, right? And so I have this one, and this one flat on that piece of paper. I have 1 chlorine behind it, and so we use the wedge line to show that, and 1 coming out of the paper at me, and that's that wedged line. So that's what we're talking about for that. I can rotate this all around, and it's very fun. When I want to get out of this, I have to hit escape to get out of that thing, and it took me forever to figure out. So hopefully you've taken care of that. Now we need to determine the electron pair geometry and the molecular geometry. So I come into my lab data, and then it says how to determine the molecular geometry, and it says geometry table. So I opened my table. Now it says the number of groups around the central atom is 4, and that electron pair geometry is tetrahedral. And if there are no lone pairs, that's also tetrahedral. Okay, so that's the geometry that we need. So this is going to be tetrahedral, and this is going to be tetrahedral. Okay, so that is how we do that first time, right? And then you're going to go through each of the ones after that. Okay, so make sure that you are aware of what you're doing there. Okay, You need to answer all of those questions. This shouldn't be this bad. If you run into any issues, take a screenshot, send it to me, let me know what's going on. But again, I don't think this is going to be a big deal for you guys. Hopefully this is going to be fun. Okay. You might want to practice looking at that Vesper table that I have for you guys. And again, let me see that. And I'm just gonna load this to. I'm just gonna load this to. Excuse me. D12 so you can see it. But this is the Vesper table that you will get on the test. So you might want to practice with this one. So looking at that geometry of the electron pairs and then the geometry of the atoms. So this is your electron pair geometry. This is your molecular geometry. So I'm going to post this to D12, that way you guys can see it and you have it available to you because it's not in the exam handouts. So I'll make sure that I get that posted for you. Okay, I think that's everything I have to share with you guys. I hope you guys have a good time with that lab, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys. Wait.